Be a pose all of your life. Have fun getting stranded in a drug cartel city. Before I start, I want to say that English is not my first language and that I might type some nonsense here. Feel free to leave suggestions in the comments about redacting posts. This revenge was performed by my mom and her epic mind. It all started when I was born. Life was happy, good and easy. My brother was a good and working person, college dropout, but always very smart. Or that's what we thought. My brother went out every night with his friends. Nothing alarming but very weird. Time passed and I turned 10 years old. At this point my brother had a girlfriend, a son, and had already moved out. It was fun. Until my brother moved back with me and my parents. Speep truly hit the fan there. The first day we noticed an instant change in both his personality and appearance. You see, he didn't move back in alone. He came with his son and girlfriend. We asked why he came back, and he simply said they had a problem and this was temporary. For his girlfriend, to which I will refer as D and son, this was true. But he stayed for the rest of this story in our house. When Dee and her son left, she cut contacts with both our family and my brother, but occasionally asking for money. Don't tag her as bad just now, because she had a very good motive. My brother after this became a good for nothing piece of speep with everybody in the house. Turns out his friends actually were his dealers. Ick now. For weed and that stuff. Later we asked why did they truly left the other house, and he just said I had a fight with her brother and dad. It was vague, but it was true. Sometime around 2018, when I turned 11, we occasionally went to visit Dee and her son. One of those times my mom asked why she cut contacts. The truth was that my brother was emotionally, physically, verbally and sexually abusing her. She didn't press charges, and still refuses to do so because of fear. My mom became enraged at him, but didn't do anything just yet. Years passed. My brother stayed in our house. Fights between my brother and everybody here became more and more common. My brother smoked pot 24/7 with 2 kids in the Pine house. I started showing signs of depression around those times. I was 11 years old. Imagine how speepty this was for me to consider suicide at that age. More time passed. It's now 2020 and his first fight with my dad, his stepdad, just happened. My mom was leaving to go to Culiacan, and right after the fight my brother asked if he can go. My sister, which was not relevant to this story, offered to buy him a plane ticket. This is where the revenge starts. You see, my sister bought a ticket to go, but not to come back. Mom was the one to come up with this plan. My brother didn't know this at the time. Culiacan is a city known for being home to various drug cartels. Sinaloa, the state where Culiacan is pretty much horrible. More if you are like my brother. The day my mom returned is when I was notified about all of this. I was expecting my mom to come back with my brother, but she came home alone. My brother was left alone in a hotel, with no money, no family, nothing. He tried calling us multiple times through public phones, but wasn't successful at all. Unless he gets a job and a house, he's either going to die of starvation, or is going to get killed by a drug cartel. It's the first time in years I've truly felt happy. Thanks a lot for reading all of my nonsense. Undefined. Story update. So, it's been a long time since I made this post, and I think it's time for an update. We've already been with Dee's son, so that's clear. He cut contact with US, so we don't have way of knowing anything about him. Tomorrow we are going to Culiacan to visit him. Wish us luck. Damn, that nuclear winter cold. Still warm due to radiation from the nuclear bomb. Revenge is best served cold. There aren't words to describe how frozen that is. That was ballistic. I wonder what happened to the brother. That speep is so nuclear it could destroy Mars. Holy f-peep. But you can't just blow a hole into the surface of Mars. Tap 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 tap. So she sent her son to a city with the sole intention of leaving him there to die. Not specifically to die, but for him to learn a lesson about his attitude. He is 30 years old and has already gotten a job at the time I'm writing this. Fair enough. It sounded like she was just leaving him there to starve or be killed. Hopefully he learns to be a better person. Have you checked up on him recently? Like how he's been or how much he's suffering? Are there any relatives who are sympathetic to him? He's just alone. He already got a job, but I'm not sure where he is staying. Good. I hope he's having a tough time. It all started when I was born. It sounds funny and it is, but it's pretty much true. I was born at a very early age. Wait, so you're 13 now? Yeah. Oh okay, cool. I thought that was a mistake. That's some tough love from your mom. Love it. Your mom is savage in the best way. I hope you are doing well now. Way better than that speepty post yesterday. What post LMAO? Sorry, not yours, but there was an post yesterday where someone broke into a guy's apartment and framed him for robbery all over like 300. Good punishment for a rapist. More than a rapist, I would call him an abuser, but still. Yep. Piece of speep fits nicely. Time to sink or swim, brother dear. Sink or swim. So you are 13 years old? Nobody else finds this weird in a lot of ways. Like how much you know about his sexual assault towards his girlfriend. His drug habits. Yeah, I agree. Female. Dang. When your own mom serves up that kind of revenge, you know it was necessary. Hats off to her. And that is probably how Bane came to be. No one cared who I was till I put on the mask. Lol. I hope your mom told D that your brother won't be back in town for a while. Also, towards the beginning, you wrote temporal. I think you meant temporary, which means not permanent, usually for a short time. You're 13 then? Yes. So you just turned 13, huh? I just find it funny because Squidward said those exact words in an episode of SpongeBob lol. Really? Dude, this isn't nuclear revenge. It's radioactive revenge. That's intense. Someone not familiar with the area in any way. How come you state he would get killed by a cartel? Do you mean this in the sense they would target him specifically or just randomly? He has history with drugs, not paying and being in trouble with gangs, so that's why I said it. He should been dealing with drug cartels anyway. That means you're 13, right? Yup. No one cares to hear about your karma, op. I know, bud. I should really change that to thanks for 2k upvotes. People aren't reading your thanks and going, oh well. It's meaningless. Most people find it annoying. I have to say, from the sound of it, your entire family are pose. Yeah, you bro is a pose, but dumping him in a city you know for a fact it's 50 over 50, him making it out alive is peeping terrible. I hope he makes it out and takes some cold hard revenge of your mum, sister and stepdad, preferably in some way that leaves permanent scars. You get a pass op because you were/are a child. What else were they supposed to do? Considering he was starting abusive speep towards his own family, this benefits everyone involved. If they just simply kicked him out, he could easily come back and hurt them. Flying him to another city to learn a hard lesson is a decent solution. The same was done to my ex-Bill for the same reasons, except my partner's family was able to get him deported. Kept the family safe. Gave him a second chance to think his life choices through. Win-win. Maybe he should have considered the repercussions of being an abusive pose. It was either this or prison if they reported it, and I'd wager he has a higher chance of survival with what they did than in prison. You can't coddle people like this into being a better person. Dunno man, maybe family means more to me than that. I get someone needing to move away to get their speep straight, and I'm not gonna deny that it work, but to knowingly dump my literal blood into 50 over 50 life or death situation is abhorrent to me, and I did horrible things as a young man that I'm ashamed of to someone who hurt my sister. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta cut contact with people if they are truly more bad than good. I don't know how your legal system is over there, but it sounds like his girlfriend should definitely press charges, if that's an option. Had something similar happen with my Mill and Sil. They went on vacation to see canyons and only Mill returned. Legit thought she had finally snapped and just shoved Sil off a cliff. What? Sil's a crazy drug addict. And some things happened, and Mill just left her there. Their relationship is strained by that whole drug addict thing and things have been chill ever since. Can't he just jump on a bus and go back to your parents' place? I mean, for what it looks, you're also in Mexico, so it can't be too expensive. Couple days og begging and that's it. I'm waiting for the post on r/NuclearRevenge in about a year, where Op's brother comes back and makes them homeless or something insane. Reminds me of my uncle. He never studied. He scored very steep marks in his 12th grade in Indian education system. Your college is decided by board exams and entrance exams. He flunked the engineering entrance and law entrance exams. My grandfather pissed at him. Sent in a small town where the only job for survival was manual labor. He worked a labor job of 12 hours a day. He came back after 18 months, gave an entrance, got a diploma, and has a decent job. Damn. He might come back. I fear for your family's safety. Dude, y'all better move. If he finds his way back, you're in for a bad time. Also, don't forget the COVID-19 pandemic is going on. So if starvation, exposure, cartels, human trafficking, or a bullet kills that sob, then it will be the COVID-19 virus that will kill him with no way to prove for medical or pay for the hospital bill. He's truly FPEEP edition. Yup. Agreed. Also, please update if anything happens. You have great English. A couple tips from a native speaker. In the 5th paragraph, you mean temporary. Temporal is a different word. Later, when talking about why your brother moved out of his house, you say why did they truly left the other house. You're using two past tense words. Did frames the sentences already being in past tense to do. Becomes did, so left should actually be leave. Why did they leave the house? I hope that makes sense. English grammar is really hard. Good job otherwise. Thanks a lot for the tip, mate. First of all, I want to say you very obviously did nothing wrong in this situation. There's also definitely an element of revenge to it. But I feel like this is just speepty parenting more than anything else. If your parents set boundaries and actually did something while your brother was literally abusing his GF, then you probably wouldn't have gone through depression and this wouldn't have been necessary. It might have been bad parenting when he was a kid, but my parents didn't know about the abuse until after. Everybody in the family, including my sister, says that he's always been problematic and bad with everybody. Nothing helped. What if he does make it back and gets revenge on your mother for doing that to him? Highly doubt it. Here are a few reasons why. Trips to here are $100 to around $200 in plane, so he will either need to save for 1 year or come here traveling alone walking, which I doubt, since we are 400 miles away. I think math might be off by a lot. He doesn't have a stable job. He doesn't have a key to our house and doesn't know lockpicking techniques, so breaking in isn't possible at all. We live in a neighborhood where every hour there's at least 2 persons awake, so even entering through the back door isn't possible. But if he manages to overcome everything, we might be either FPEEPed or we will meet a brand new person. 400 miles is 643.74 kilometers. Your parents and sister did exactly right to protect you. I'm so glad you are all safe now. Hug your parents and be sure to thank them for keeping you safe. That revenge was beautiful, simple yet effective.